Hi, this is Mark Sutton with Michigan Legion Radio. I'm here today with Julie Mann. She is the CEO and president of JMann Consulting Group, the RockStar Factory, and the newly launched company RockStar Verified. The RockStar Factory is a professional placement firm specializing in matching companies with RockStar quality employees, while JMann Consulting Group provides an on-call HR manager services for small and medium-sized businesses. RockStar Verified provides candidate employment skills verification services for both job seekers and employers. Today we have Julie Mann with us in studio, and in the March 2012 Michigan Legionnaire, she wrote an article about with her Finding Work series talking about the cover letter. So today we want to expand on the cover letter for those seeking work. Julie, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Mark, for having me.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How
Good.
about you?
Doing well.
Good.
So in your article, you talked about that your great-grandfather was a veteran in World War I?
Actually, my great-grandfather was in the Civil War in the Siege of Vicksburg.
Wow.
And my grandfather was on the SS Tuscania in World War I.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and
a lot
he was
of history.
on the boat when the torpedo hit the side of the hull, and it started. We know the story.
Yep, that's amazing. So in your article, you talked about the importance of a cover letter, because I think a lot of people focus on the resume because everybody has a resume builder.
Right.
Companies just say, "Hey, send us your resume, and we'll see what happens." What is the real importance of a cover letter in association with the resume, and how do they work together?
A couple of things. First of all, people say, do I really need to do a cover letter anyway? Is anybody going to read it? Why bother? Why waste my time? I'll just submit my resume. First thing is, yes, do a cover letter. So if you're hearing that myth, we watch a lot of Mythbusters at home. So if you're hearing that myth, it's a myth, please do a cover letter. The purpose of the cover letter is really helping that person who's doing the recruiting make the connection of why you to this job. So your resume is going to talk about your skills, your background, your experiences, but the cover letter is going to say, okay, now that I see that, why would you be the one that I want to spend interviewing time with? And also, from even just a screening standpoint of view. I mean, I've been in recruiting since 1984. I've seen a lot of resumes. I've recruited for a lot of jobs. And, think about it from a recruiter's standpoint of view, because I want to, share this visual with everyone. So you're sitting there and you have a stack of resumes, hundreds of them sitting in front of you. You're the recruiter. The first thing you do, and I can guarantee you this is just about what we all do. Our methods may change slightly, but we very quickly scan through them all and we create a pile of yes, no's, and maybes. First thing that we do. So your cover letter, you want to get in that yes pile. So, it's a marketing piece for you. It's okay to be slightly different in your cover letter. One that I used to use back when I was in my recruiting days, my first line was, dear sir or madam, or if I had a name, obviously I would insert that. Stop. You found the person you're looking for. Because as the recruiter, I know what it's like. The cover letters that start to whom it may concern. Dear sir or madam, attached you will find a cover letter. We see those all day long. Be a little bit different, because the cover letter, again, first thing you want to do is get in that yes pile, and it'll help you get there.
So would you say with my background somewhat in direct marketing, in letter writing, do you think that using a bold line in front of paragraphs is okay?
I do. Okay. I do. I mean, again, it's from an attention-getting standpoint of view. Especially that being your background, I'm going to be looking at information coming in. If I'm seeking someone with your skills, I'm going to be looking at, does he know the technical side of how to use this medium, right? It's not, I'm like going, I'm looking for a marketing guy. Does the marketing guy know how to market, right?
Right. But that would also work for someone looking for a welding job or a sales job.
Absolutely. I mean, the job search process is marketing. You're marketing the most important commodity that you have, and that's you.
So from your point of view, with all these, since, almost 30 years, more than 30 years of experience in all this and scanning all these resumes and cover letters, what are you scanning for that brings someone from the pile to the yes pile and not the bin pile?
Okay, you said an interesting word, and the word that you said was scanning. Your larger companies these days do use a resume scanning device. So the recruiter may not even see the resumes.
Oh.
when they're scanned in, because the scanning device is going to make a judgment call, a technological judgment call on your background before the recruiter even sees the resume. So I want to point, the manual word of scanning is I'm scanning through the document looking for, so let's address that on both verticals if we can. So the smaller company that doesn't have this scanning mechanism, if you want to say, they are scanning the cover letter to find out, first of all, did you read my ad? Did you make some correlations back to the ad? Did you at least take that interest in my job to say, I would be good for this part of your posting because I bring this to the table? Have some bullets. Make it the reason I'm the good fit is because you were looking for this. I bring this. Especially when you add in the military side of things, where sometimes those skill sets aren't as easily translatable. It may say, on your resume that I was in this battalion or worked with this group. Well, translate that to me on the cover letter and say, I did this and you're looking for that, so therefore I'm a good fit for these reasons, and make that connection.
So for the smaller company, when we say scanning the resume, that's they're speed reading it to look for those key points. So someone who's writing their cover letter, they really do want to make it specific for that job, because that employer or potential employer is just looking for those key words that says that, yes, this person understands what I'm looking for.
Right. And quite honestly, you then make it easy for the recruiter. Right? I mean, think about your marketing. So think about press releases that get attention versus press releases that don't. The press release that gets the attention is one that's pretty much did all the work for them. It was very easy for them to pick up that press release and run with it. They didn't have to do homework. Right?
Okay.
So take that to the cover letter. Make it easy for the recruiter to say, aha.
This is exactly who I'm looking for.
This is exactly who I'm looking for.
And they just happen to, then they get thrown in the yes pile.
Yes.
And then when they go through the resume, they just happen to see, oh, this is where he got his experience from.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So that's the small. Now go to the other vertical of the big company.
The automated system.
The automated system. And maybe big company. I mean, bigger companies are the ones who tend to have those.
But don't big companies also subscribe to a monster.com and stuff like that and ask them to send them these scanned possible keywords? They
may, but what they probably have internally, if they have any form of a resume tracking system, is they have every resume goes through a scanner. There's somebody who's hired who feeds these things through, or however they come through, right? And the scan, the recruiter identifies keywords. Teamwork, leadership, welding, whatever the skills are, right? So the recruiter gives the scanning system a host of keywords. 50 keywords, let's say, and tells the computer, don't send me a resume unless these 50 words are included in the resume.
Oh, wow.
And so it does an auto scan and, electronically figures out first pass who would go into the maybe pile.
Okay.
So again, the adept recruiter, the good recruiter, is writing their posting to mock what they've given the computer to look for.
So really pay attention to that ad.
Yes.
And correlate those words, incorporate those words they use in the ad in your cover letter.
Yes.
So that you're hitting the bullet points that they are actually looking for.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to share, everyone, put your seatbelts on. This is a very interesting new tip that's out there that I find absolutely fascinating. And I don't know how many people are using it or even aware of it. But I read it very recently. So there's this new thing. You'll love this, Mark. There's this new thing called white words.
Okay.
Okay. I wish you all could see the way his forehead just crinkled. So there's this thing called white words. So what people are doing is they're taking a whole sheet of paper, just typing keywords, a whole page of them. Teamwork, leadership, communication, every skill that you can even imagine, right? Mm-hmm. Then you highlight that whole page, turn the words white, and drop a text box over top with your actual cover letter.
Oh.
So that when this document is scanned into the computer,
it sees all the white words.
The computer doesn't, the recruiter can't see the white words. The computer can see it.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
I'm just starting to read about that. And I don't know how much it's
now, is this, practice. This is for people who are submitting it electronically or, actually.
Electronic. It would be electronic submission. But isn't
in
that
a Word
interesting?
document.
In
Yes,
a Word
it is.
document.
So you take a Word document, you write everything, all the keywords, and add a ton of keywords in white text.
Yes.
Then take a text box and cover it and put your actual cover letter.
Yes.
So you get the benefit of what's in the text box, also the benefit. So you're actually sending in 2 pages, which is a no-no.
Right. Right.
But you're getting the benefit of 2 pages because of the way you're doing it.
Right. Isn't that brilliant?
That is brilliant.
I just read that. So I don't know. I mean, I know it works from a practical standpoint of view as far as how the scanner thinks and how it works as far as getting to the recruiter.
The technical aspect of it is correct.
Right. It's important. I don't know how many people are doing it in practice, but I thought it was absolutely, if I was looking for a job right now, I'd be doing it. I can guarantee you, because it's going to up your hit ratio, which isn't that
exactly
why we're doing this.
That's
thing, right. So there's a tip that I don't think it's not out there that much. You're not seeing a lot about it, but I read an article recently and thought, wow.
Okay, so in closing, look at the ad.
Yes.
That you're seeing in the paper online, and write your cover letter so that you're incorporating every single keyword that's in that ad.
Yes.
So that when they scan it into their system, that is going to grab your resume because they're scanning in the cover letter and the resume.
Yes.
Do they make sure that a lot of those keywords are also in their resume body?
Or
does that matter?
If they have the time, I mean, how many times are we all going to rewrite our resumes? Right. So that's,
or should they be paying attention to those keywords in the ad and then just kind of review their resume every once in a while?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, we'll cover resumes in another issue.
Perfect.
And thank you for coming.
No, thank you. This is great.
Okay. And how long has RockStar Factory been around?
RockStar Factory has been around since 2009. And I tell you, it's just been fascinating and wonderful helping people understand some of these things that sometimes you think, oh, everybody knows that, but they don't. And it helps, we've got to get people employed and understand some of those tips behind the recruiter's eyes.
Well, and for your services for the veteran side, the person seeking work, there's no charge to them. Or what is there a charge?
No, there's not a charge to the person seeking work.
So if there's someone listening to this and they're seeking work, they can get a hold of you at?
www.therockstarfactory.com is where they could submit a resume. Or again, email is Julie at JMann Consulting Group, JMann Consulting Group.com is a great email place to have that submission. The RockStar Factory is a JMann company, so that's the connection there.
So you get these resumes and you're actually looking for, you're building your database of people that are qualified to do work.
Yes.
Or what qualifications they have. And then companies come to you looking for, I need a specific type of person.
Yes.
Or skill set.
Yes.
And that way they have they have the veteran in the database. You can pull them out and say, hey, have a look at this guy.
Right. And I will tell you, Mark, in the last 45 days, I've had 3 companies call and say, I want to hire a vet for skill reasons. Yes, it's the right thing to do, but they say, we need someone who needs this skill, this skill, this skill, and this skill. And so I think companies, we're doing everything we can to educate them on that value, and they're saying, aha, we understand all of the things that everyone did, and it's translating into the workplace.
Outstanding.
Yeah, good stuff.
Thank you very much, Julie.
Thank you.
Talk to you again soon.
Right. Okay.
This is Mark Sutton with the Michigan Legion Radio. Thank you for listening, and we're at www.michiganlegion.org/radio.